everybody, Grandma Bev here from Life with Grandma Bev, and welcome back, Grandma. This is one of the first videos I'm doing since I got back the night before last, very late, and of course we'd flown all night, but it was daytime coming this way. So we've just been really suffering from, what do you call it, jet lag. Yesterday, I stayed in bed almost all day. We came to some realizations on this trip. This body cannot take too many more Europe trips. Too long, too exhausting, especially riverboat cruise. But I'll go more into that on another video. What I want to touch on today, while it's still really fresh in my mind, is Heathrow Airport. Oh my God. Now, when we flew there, we went into Heathrow. Let me move this up more. We flew into Heathrow, but we had switched from our big luggage, and we had pared down even more and packed a carry-on suitcase. So we'd know where our luggage was at all times with us, right? But on the way home, we decided, well, let's just check it in this time because it was hard in this poor old bod. So when we ended the cruise, we did what they call a post-extension trip to Lucerne, Switzerland. Beautiful, wonderful trip if you can go to Lucerne, especially the Mount Pilatus trip. And there'll be a whole separate video on that one. But anyway, being that's where we ended up was in Lucerne, the cruise line had made arrangements for us to be transported to Zurich Airport on, what day was it? Tuesday morning, okay? Well, I don't know if any of you remember, but a couple of weeks before our time to leave, we'd gotten a notification from British Airways that our flight for, what was it for? 2 something in the afternoon. Excuse me, 10 something in the morning, I guess, had been canceled. So they could put us on one at 7 in the morning because we still need to catch our connection in London at Heathrow. Imagine 7:15 in the morning. Well, they wanted to get us, they wanted to leave the hotel we were in Lucerne 4 hours ahead of time, which meant 3:15 in the morning. We're dragging our bods down to the lobby of the hotel, and we met the taxi driver, and he took us a nice drive to the airport. It was only about an hour, no traffic that time in the morning. So we got there, and of course nothing was open yet, because this was 4 o'clock, and you know, the, what do you call them? Well, you check in with the airlines. None of those were open yet. Everything was just empty. Now, this isn't Zurich, so Zurich isn't the problem. But we were able to check our luggage all the way through to Seattle. So, but we still kept watching because we had bought those little Apple things, you know, that you put in your luggage so you can keep an eye on where it's at. So we were keeping an eye on where our luggage was at, and yes, it did take off with us. And yes, it landed at Heathrow. Heathrow. Okay. Ugh. Excuse me, of course, I got sick. Not good. But anyway, so we get off the plane. I swear we must have walked a mile. Up and down and up and down and up, you know, like Disneyland, but there was hardly anybody there at that point. So we made, you know, all those Disneyland things, back and forth. And then we get into another room, back and forth. Well, I had read that Heathrow was really particular about you using their little clear plastic quart bags for your liquids and things, right? But only one per person. So I very carefully packed my carry, because I still had the carry-on bag go under my seat. I had my bag with, you know, any of the toiletries or things I use. I had my bag with my my meds, you know. Of course, I had those. For those of you who are following in a video, we'll be playing later. Following Trent the Troll and Fanny and the baby. They are in the carry-on with me, right? Thank God we had checked in our carry-on luggage. I should have put more in it, I tell you. we finally get up there, and they've got this real mechanical looking thing, you know, that you get up. And I don't know how many times we had to run our boarding pass through a little thing. Excuse me. Finally get up there, and there's all these bins. So the whole time you're walking, you're seeing all this info about what you need to show. So I had everything ready. I had my little clear bag ready to show them. I had my iPad out. Everything ready. Here we didn't have to take our shoes off. Some airports you do, some you don't. So I finally get up to the little spot where this little thing comes in, and I put my iPad and my purse in the one, because I had to have them all separate things. I put my little clear through baggie with my liquids in one, and I put my carry-on under the seat bag in one. I go through, you know, the magnometers, and of course I had to go through the one where you want to see all my my metal parts in my body thing. Bob didn't have to. Anyway, I get down there, and as it comes through from the magnometer thing, it slides some things over to another row to come down. Well, sure enough, there goes my first one, my second one, my purse, and my third one. Shoot, right? So, I mean, I had to go up, so I'm standing there, and the guy, now this isn't TSA, this is, you know, their one, so I can't blame TSA on this, I blame theirs. This poor gal, she's got her regular carry-on suitcase one, so thank God I didn't bring my suitcase. Anyway, he is literally going through her suitcase, pulling things out. I mean, I thought, how embarrassing for the poor gal. The guy was obsessed with this box that had 2 tubes of toothpaste in it. So he finally, as he separates everything out, you know, and she's not saying anything. I mean, you know, you're taught you can't say anything, you know, don't want to offend them. So he finally took her toothpaste things and went back to another machine, put it through that machine, and then went over to another machine, put it through that, and then comes back and says, your toothpaste tubes are just a little too big past the, you know, the poor gal. So he finally shoves everything back on her back, you know, and off she goes to repack her bag. So then he gets to mine. First one he pulled was my purse. Well, I didn't have much in my purse because I packed it all in my little stuff, right? But he still proceeds to find my little hanging thing I always have in my purse with hardly any hand sanitizer in it. Makes me take it off. Asks me if there's anything sharp in my bag. I wish I could have said, you know, something's going to stab you. Well, of course, there wasn't. So he goes in there. He finds a couple of maybe little tubes of different little things. Brings them over, comes back. He says, okay, you can take your purse out now. But he's still got the liquid, the few little things, right? So then he brings over the one that's got my, that does have my clear liquids in it. Hands that to me, my iPad. Everything's okay. Then the man proceeds to take apart everything in my underseat bag. I mean everything. He went into every little compartment. Any little tiny little things he found, he'd pull out, you know, taking everything out. I mean, I had some personal stuff in there. In the meantime, everybody's lined up waiting, whose luggage had gone into the, you know, the little side part, you know, looking at me like while he's unpacking my thing. And of course, I'm not saying anything. I don't want to make it worse, you know. Honest to God. I ended up with 4 of those plastic bags with things that he put in it, different things. I mean, I had some embarrassing things in the one personal little makeup bag. Wasn't anything. I mean, what do they think? A 72-year-old is going to have liquid bombs or things in her? God. I was so embarrassed. Literally took everything out of my bag. Puts it in another one of those square holder things they have. takes it over, puts it all through one machine, all through another machine, comes back and says, okay, you can go now. What the? No. God. So in the meantime, Bob's bag had gone over too, but someone else went and got his bag, looked at it and said, I don't know why they moved your bag over there, right? Bobby had about the same things I had almost. So, but it was a girl that waited on him. It was a guy who did on me. Anyway, so Bob comes over, he says, let me help you, honey. I'll help you. There's a place where here you can repack it. So they had these cubicles set up where you could repack your suitcases. Honest to God, when I went through packing it in the first place and then had to repack it again. So that was just the beginning. No. So we finally get me all repacked, and of course we're starving. We find this one little place. I mean, the airport is just packed, right? So we were able to get into this crappy little restaurant thing called Giraffes or something. Oh my God. And we ordered something. I don't remember. I don't think I took a picture of that one. It would have made you sick. But, in the meantime, because they're going through all those boop, 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 boop lines and standing there while they tore my luggage apart, I'm just hot as can be. I can hardly stand it. I can hardly stand up because I'm so sore from all that I had been through during the week on the cruise. So we just finally picked the first place we could find, went in and sat down so I could cool down, and we had a little something to eat, right? So from there, it's like, okay, now where did we go? They still don't have the gate number up for our flight because our flight is at, what was it at finally? I know we left there at 8 o'clock at night. Their time, okay? And the flight had been delayed like a half an hour and then another half hour. So they were not posting up gates until like an hour or so before your predicted boarding time. So you had to go down all these stairs. And talk about going down stairs and escalators. Oh my God. We finally find 2 seats. We plop down because this big holding area, they call it. And that's where we sat for the whole rest of the day. Hi, honey. Bobby just got home from golfing. Anyway. So while we're sitting there, the noise level, and I may post a little shorts video that shows the noise level. But, there were a couple of kids there. These boys must have been twins. They looked identical. They were running, fighting stuff, knocking things over. The one kid, all of a sudden, here he goes with a stool from where people could sit on their computer. He's pushing it across the floor to the other side of the room. And I didn't see it till much later, hours later, when he pulled it back. But, oh my God, the noise level. So finally, they posted. We thought, okay, it looks like it's going to be in this one area. So we started making our way. Oh my God, that must have been 1.5 miles. And that was even taking a train too. Now, man, I'm glad we started making our way there before they even posted it, because we kind of got wind about where it might be. But what if we'd gotten there and it hadn't been? So anyway, finally time to board the plane. We're going downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, ramp. Finally come outside, walk across, climb from outside up into the plane. The flight was fine. And when we got off in SeaTac, a lot of walking to do there because of we got to go all through customs and everything. But when we're getting off on the ramp, which was indoors, there must have been 10 to 15 wheelchairs lined up. And it's like, how did those people get on the plane back at Heathrow to begin with? Couldn't have brought them up in the wheelchairs. So anyway, that was my experience at Heathrow. It has a reputation for a reason. And they've cut back on how many people they're letting fly in and out of there. Oh my God. Whew. So anyway, that was the ending of the trip. Okay, I've got all kinds of stuff to tell you about the trip itself. But I wanted to get this off my chest while it was still fresh in my mind. Whew. So please comment below, share, like, and subscribe. And I hope y'all missed me. You'll be starting to get things showing up. Now, I think tomorrow, this is today. I'm not sure. Anyway, the next day or two, I've got a diet and company. So, okay. I love you all. Bye.